The Cardinals offense without DeAndre Hopkins. Ooh, scary. Ooh, welcome into the PHNX Daily Bet Show, brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe if you're new, and leave us a 5-star review. I'm Shane Diefenbach, joined, as always, finally back, Mr. Johnny Venerable. How are you feeling, Johnny?
Great to be back. That tease made it seem like Hopkins is not going to play, which is not the case. He is playing because God help us all if he doesn't play.
I was naming something scary because that's really spooky.
I would say Kliff Kingsbury's first 12 to 15 scripted plays are scary.
Those are scary. Yeah. Those are scary. Screenplay, run play, 30-yard deep shot, fourth down. Johnny, there's football kind of this weekend. This slate might be worse than last week.
Well, can we put the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in their grave after last night? I'm not sure what you and Sean opted to do yesterday, but I hope it was you're a Lamar stain, you're a Baltimore stain, so I would assume that's what the side you picked yesterday, right? Oh no! Even with that was Lamar's best game of the year, even without all of his weapons in the second half. He made Devin Duvernay look like an all-pro. No Rashad Bateman, no Mark Andrews. He's throwing touchdown passes to Kenyon Drake. That was the most I've been impressed watching Lamar Jackson all year.
Yeah, I got a couple stats about Lamar that I'll get to after this, but my reasoning yesterday for going with the Buccaneers, we can throw my picks. Right now they're not on here. I took Tampa Bay -2 yesterday. Didn't work, but I also took the over, and I took Godwin over receiving yards and somebody else over something that hit as well. I don't remember what it was. Oh, it was Shaq Barrett to get a sack at +225, and that hit in the first quarter.
And then he got carted off.
That was unfortunate. My whole reasoning yesterday with the Bucs is this was my last kind of lifeline to Tampa Bay. And if they don't impress me, I'm not going to bet on Brady for the rest of the year. And they didn't. One fun thing about Lamar Jackson yesterday was he threw and completed all 8 passes. He only threw 8 passes in the second half.
Yeah.
And he had a 23% CPOE completion above expectation. So he was completing passes that shouldn't have been completed. He's on another level. And as he was holding up a sign that read, "Pay the man," I think the Ravens need to follow suit and do just that because he's a special guy.
You know who else is special? That makes me sad. Cardinals are starting Billy Price at center this weekend. Tyler Lindenbaum is very special. He's a special little man.
Yeah. Speaking of special men, that Bucs offensive line is filled with them, but they're not very good.
No.
They thought they were going to be special. They're not. This team can't run the ball, Johnny. They can't run the ball.
Not with Leonard. Leonard Fournette looks like he's a shell of himself. He came into the offseason, if you remember, he was out of shape. Rachaad White should be the starting back for the rest of the year. If I'm Todd Bowles, that's the move I'm making. It looks more explosive. He can make more with less around him, whereas Leonard needs a push up front and get some momentum going. I would try. If I'm them, I would call up the LA Rams and say, "Hey, you want Leonard Fournette? Hey, Buffalo, you want Leonard Fournette? We got Rachaad White. I've seen enough." Even last night, it's not even close, the acceleration that White has compared to Leonard. And when you have piss poor offensive lines, it behooves you to have a younger back there.
Johnny, did you know that the rushing yards Tampa Bay had was the same amount of 44 rushing yards, and Tom Brady threw 44 passes. They were equal. So not good. They had like 17 rushing yards in that first drive, and then nothing happened after that. Let's talk about the Sunday slate, because I think the best game is the Seahawks and the Jets.
No, it's not. Now that Elijah Vera Tucker and Breece Hall are out, it is not the best game, but I think the Seahawks are going to win that game. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. I think, to me, the best game is at 6 a.m. because I think we're going to get clarity on this Broncos team potentially being a buyer or a seller at the deadline. I think they're going to lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars in their native country of London. Remember when they wanted to move the Jags to London? Low-key, a lot of London fans or a lot of Jag fans in London. So, yeah, Seahawks and Giants in the chat. I thought that Seahawks played the Giants, but yeah, I'm going to get up and watch the 6 a.m. game.
Seahawks and the Giants is the banger. It's the banger of the day, in my opinion. Well, you mentioned you think the Jags are going to win. Is that one of your picks this week, Johnny? Let's go and throw them up on the screen.
Let's jag off here on a Friday. Yeah, I think they're gonna win. I think they're gonna cover -2.5. I would grab this line as soon as you can because I feel like everybody hates Russell Wilson. The high knees in the plane from our very own Zach Stevens at DMVR. It's hilarious. I love it so much. Teammates are turning on him. Will they quit in London? I think they will. I think the Broncos are quitting this weekend. I think the Jaguars, who have been known, Shane, to jump out to leads, but then they blow leads. They blew leads to Indianapolis. They blew leads to Philadelphia. You know who doesn't come back when they're down? The Denver Broncos, because they physically can't move the football. I think the Jaguars jump out to a 10, 14 nothing lead, and I think that's game over. I also like the Eagles off a bye to just absolutely destroy. I think this is going to be one of the most embarrassing games for the Pittsburgh Steelers of the last 20 years. I think we're going to get running clock-esque high school football appearance from Kenny Pickett. He's going to look like ass again. If I was them, you know how I feel about him, I would move off of him. But they loaded up. They got Robert Quinn. They are going to feast on this shitty offensive line. Cards money line. Listen, Minnesota's a good team, but they haven't played anybody. They're off a bye, but Cards have 10 days to prepare. I think Cardinals defense matches up pretty well with Minnesota offensively. They beat them in Arizona last year. That's my big upset for the week is I think the Cards win at +160 against the Minnesota Vikings and yeah, get this shit going, man. And then the Raiders -1. I might tease this up, frankly. What I saw from the Raiders last week, I saw a team that is going to play a little bit better here in the second half of the season. They play a Saints team that, you know, outside of the Olave Dalton connection, I think it leaves a lot to be desired. And their defense is terrible. We're going to talk about Josh Jacobs being one of the best backs in football here in a minute. Then this is a pick that right now, if I had to put $200 down on a game, and Shane, I told you this when we saw this slate on guest lines on Monday, the Rams are going to win this football game. Sean McVay off a bye is not going to lose to Kyle Shanahan. The San Francisco 49ers, Debo's got a hamstring. The McCaffrey thing is overblown. They have no defensive tackles available. It's at home. It's at SoFi. The Rams are winning this game. Tease it. Do whatever you need to do. The fact that San Francisco is favored as a 3-4 team is gross, and I can't wait to sit here on Monday and be looking at the 3-5 San Francisco 49ers. What are you going to say, national media? Then, what are you going to say?
What makes you think that the Rams have what it takes to win a football game, though? What we've seen from them.
I think McVay will get his team up for this game. I don't think they're a good team, and I think they're going to lose games the rest of the season. Hopefully, the Cardinals can beat them in Arizona in a couple of weeks, or in SoFi in a couple of weeks. But I think the Garoppolo factor, he is due for a bad game. McVay is going to out-scheme Kyle Shanahan, just like Andy Reid physically undressed DeMeco Ryan last weekend. I think we're going to get that kind of performance from Kyle Shanahan. I think the Niners are going to get out-coached and outclassed 2 weeks in a row. The McCaffrey trade, you know how I feel about it. It's going to go down as one of the worst acquisitions during the season of recent memory. It's terrible. And to me, this Niner team is so fraudulent. The Rams won the Super Bowl last year. Okay. Like they have Cooper Kupp. They've got weapons. They've got Aaron Donald. They're going to win this game. It's going to be close. I think it's going to be a 1-possession game going into the fourth quarter. But everybody knows the statistics now of Kyle Shanahan always owns Sean McVay, blah, blah, blah. This is a must-win game for the LA Rams. Whereas I think the Niners just feel like, oh, it's the Rams, we can beat them.
Yeah. I'm just not a believer in this Rams team. I think their offensive line is terrible. I don't care who you're lining up opposite of the offensive line. I think the Niners win that game, and I have them on my picks. Why don't we throw that up? Give me the Niners and give me the points. Taking the 49ers -1.5. Also love the Seahawks against the Giants. This is my second week in a row betting against the Giants. I'm getting a little scared. However, the Giants don't know how to defend the run, and especially explosive run plays when the running backs get to the second level. Kenneth Walker's going to do that a couple times today or on Sunday. So I'm taking the Seahawks -3. And then New England at New York. This game has no business scoring more than 40 points. I am just so unimpressed with both of these offenses. Give me the under. Give me it all day. And then I agree with you, the Raiders. I think Josh Jacobs looks like a top 3 running back in the NFL right now. I don't know how. I don't know what happened, but he looks good. I think the Raiders roll in that game. And then Washington, and not the Commanders. They're still a football team to me. The Washington football team, give me their money line. Give me it at +125. This defensive line is going to start eating here soon, especially against a bad Colts offensive line. I love them to win outright on the road. Yeah, +125.
Daddy Fantasy just picked up Washington's defense, then dropped them for the Colts defense. Was that not? Should I have not done that? Should I? Is that a mistake from Daddy?
No, the daddy does what he pleases. Why not? Johnny, where do you think the best place to bet on all of these games is?
My basement, undergroundgambling.com. No, it's at DraftKings.
The DraftKings Sportsbook app, not only the best place to bet on the NFL, but also the best place to bet on the NBA. And there's a bunch of boosts going on in the NBA, a lot of specials. They just had one last night or 2 nights ago when the Nets played the Bucks. Durant and Giannis scored 25 points each, boosted to plus 100. That hit in the third quarter. They do just a bunch of fun stuff like that. So download it today. Use that promo code PHNX. When you do, new customers can make any $5 bet on any NBA money line and get $200 if your team wins. You can also bet your winnings up to 100, boost your winnings up to 100% with DraftKings stepped up same game parlays every single day for NFL and oftentimes with the NBA. Do a couple gimmies, get your boost up to 100% and cash out, get some coin for this spooky season. Simple. Download today. Use that promo code PHNX on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions do apply. See those show notes for more details. There's that London game you're talking about, and it might be okay to watch, but the best thing about it, I think, is if you're like me and you're going to be going out for Halloween on Saturday night and you're feeling a little hungover and you need to flush your system, you need to throw up a little bit, watch the game. Wake up at 7 a.m. hungover. If you watch the game, you'll get all the juices out of you. You'll be fine. Yeah, it's going to be gross. It's not gross. In DraftKings Sports, we got player props that they offer in the NFL. And I got 3 little cuties, and one of them is my DraftKings Sportsbook pick of the week. So let's throw my props for this weekend. DraftKings Sportsbook pick of the week for me is Kenneth Walker. As I mentioned earlier, the Giants can't defend the run. Give me his over on rushing yards at 82.5. Love it so much. I also love Jalen Hurts to rush 11 or more times at plus money. I think he's going to. I think that's what they do when he has a lead. When they have a lead, I think they have a lead this week, as you alluded to, against the Steelers. And then Deontay Foreman is the only running back available that anybody knows of on this Panthers team. Give me anytime touchdown for Deontay Foreman at plus 120. Johnny, I know you have a DraftKings Sportsbook pick of the week talking about Josh Jacobs. What is that?
Hit me with it. Josh McDaniels tried to trade him away. Whoops, he's his best player. We're going to get to that in a minute. Kyler Murray's also going to rush for over 12.5 on his longest rush. They've been utilizing him. No James Conner. I think that means more Kyler Murray on the ground. Travis Etienne. They shipped out my guy James Robinson from my alma mater, Illinois State. Etienne gets in the end zone. First tutty. Wake up and cash in on DraftKings plus 475. And then Tua. The Lions secondary, not sure if you know this, not great. And Tua has the best accuracy, 10 plus yards down the field this season. Tua's going to torch them. Dan Campbell could be fired at the end of the season. And then I love Josh Jacobs. Over under, I believe on DraftKings, combined rushing and receiving, somewhere around 110. That's going to hit. Jacobs is a man among boys, 3 touchdowns last week. I think they rolled the Saints, by the way. They're going to be a cute little second half spoily team being the Raiders, and I think they move ahead of the Broncos in the AFC West standings.
Yeah, love it. Love it so much. I'm looking at the over-under in that Lions-Dolphins game at 51.5. I'm kind of tempted to take the under. I don't know if Detroit's going to be able to score anymore.
Their offense is broken since the bye. DeAndre Swift comes back this week. We'll see what they can get from Hawkinson and company. Underrated factor that I think not a lot of people are talking about because no one's paying attention to the Lions. Jamison Williams is probably not going to come back this year.
Yeah,
I've heard he's about a month away. He's going to have a redshirt year, and he's going to be playing with his ex-Alabama quarterback next year in Bryce Young. We're going to get a Bryce Young, Jamison Williams, Detroit Lions connection next September. I've talked to some people in the know with the Lions. I've talked to my buddy who's a diehard Lions fan. That's where they're focused right now. Lions fans want to lose out and get Bryce Young first overall. And frankly, I can't blame him. Sorry, Dan, you've had your chance. You're not good at your job.
Yeah, I think it's just about over. A lot of okay football. Should be some fun football, at least. A lot of gross matchups, but it'll be a good time. Excited for that. Jose in the chat saying Kyler Murray, plus 30+ rushing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, optimistically. Why not? Why not? Defense Lock will be out tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Make sure to look out for that on our Instagram. PHNX Sun Devils live at 2 p.m. Got a lot to talk about previewing ASU in Colorado. Just an absolute banger of a football game. on Saturday and the rest of the Pac-12 slate. Johnny, what you got going on today?
PHNX Cardinals live, myself and Bo Brock, 4:30, your definitive Arizona Cardinal preview at Minnesota, giving us your preview for player of the game, defensively, offensively, unsung hero, and a final score prediction. Who's out? Who's in for the Cardinals? James Conner looks like he's out. DJ Humphries could be playing. Can the Cardinals get it done? We'll see.
I'm excited for that game. Super fired up. I think there's going to be a lot of points. And hopefully that Justin Jefferson doesn't wear his Michael Myers mask because that'd be scary. Yeah. Anything else? I think we're good.
Daddy starting both Viking receivers this week, by the way. Sorry,
Love it.
Cardinals.
Daddy Fantasy to the moon. You can follow me on Twitter at Shane D. If you can follow Johnny on Twitter at Johnny Venerable. Follow the show on Twitter at PHNX_bets. We're here every Monday through Friday at noon right here on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. Don't miss out. A lot of good stuff going on. Basketball's in full swing. NHL's in full swing. NFL's in full swing. It's time to make some money, guys. But until Monday, peace, love, and be safe and trick or treat.